The new moon of September 28th started the 12th month in the southern hemisphere and the 6th month in the northern hemisphere. The 12th month on the biblical calendar can represent midnight for several reasons. Matthew 25:6 says the bridegroom will return at midnight, but verse 13 says midnight does not represent the hour of the day. These two measurements of time, days and hours, are measurements of different celestial clocks. An hour represents the orientation of Earth's rotation on its axis relative to a specific place on Earth, and a day or date, as in numbers in a month, traditionally represent the location of the moon revolving around the Earth. The prophecy tells us neither of these cycles refer to midnight, so the next cycle to look at then would be the revolution of the Earth around the sun, which is organized by months. This means that midnight, in the prophetic sense, refers to months or years, not days or hours. Midnight is also expounded upon in Exodus 11:4, 12:29, Job 34:20, and Psalm 119:62. So the 12th month is always a watch because there's a strong possibility that it represents midnight in both the northern and southern hemispheres. September 28th started the 12th month in the southern hemisphere, which will last until the new moon of October 27th. The second turn of the year was complete by the full moon of October 13th, so the new moon of October 27th will start the first month in the southern hemisphere and the 7th month in the northern hemisphere on the ancient biblical calendar. Both the first month and the 7th months are very important watches, and the fact that they're meant to be observed simultaneously in both hemispheres of the earth is evident by the appointed times on corresponding days. Trumpet on the ancient calendar in the northern hemisphere will start on the evening of October 27th to the evening of October 29th. This will mark the first day of the first month in the southern hemisphere. Atonement in the northern hemisphere will occur on the window of November 4th through the 6th, and Tabernacles on the window of the 10th through the 19th. Each day has a 3-day window because we don't know if it's meant to start on the actual new moon or the first crescent of the new moon. The week of the 9th through the 17th will represent Passover and unleavened bread for the southern hemisphere. These are all extremely important watch periods. In Joel 2:23 it says the rain will come down in the first month, and it's definitely referring to the rain of fire and brimstone in Joel 2. Joshua 5:10 and 11 and 6:4 and 5 also talk about the city walls falling and the people ascending up in the first month. The 7th month, happening simultaneously with the first month, starts with the blowing of the trumpets. The appointed time of trumpets, as explained in Leviticus 23:24, is important because the final event, the falling of the stars, is described in Revelation as 7 trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets is a watch for this reason, but there is also a trumpet of Jubilee that is blown on the Feast of Atonement. This is explained in Leviticus 25:9. In Haggai 2:1 and 6, Haggai receives a warning from the Lord on the 21st day of the 7th month, saying the earth will be shaken in a little while. The 21st day of the 7th month corresponds to the 7th day of Tabernacles. So this is a warning. It doesn't say the shaking will happen on that date, but it says that on that date it will be only a little while until it will happen. So we're given the times to watch. The question is, in which year will it actually happen? And this is where it's necessary to understand the long-term timeline, a timeline that started in 605 BC and ends in 2025. The book of Daniel creates the foundation of this timeline, and the book of Revelation fills in more details. Decoding the riddles in these ancient texts indicate that 2019 and 2020 are literally the biggest years to watch. But the ancient date for trumpets in 2019 is also a major appointment. 7 years ago, on the ancient date of trumpets in 2012, the sign described in Revelation 12 occurred. This was a warning sign, as explained. In fact, the word in Leviticus 24:25 that was translated as blowing, number 8643, also means signal, in other words, sign, and it stems from word 7321, which means alarm. So verse 24 is saying that the Feast of Trumpets is a sign of trumpets or an alarm of trumpets. In other words, the feast or appointed time of trumpets is literally a warning. In 2012, the sign described in Revelation 12 occurred on the exact date of the appointed warning of trumpets that year on the ancient calendar. This year, trumpets on the ancient calendar will complete 7 years from that sign. So again, the warning sign occurred 7 years ago on ancient trumpets in 2012. Ancient Trumpets 2019 completes 7 years since that warning. 7 represents completion in the Bible. 7 trumpets, 7 seals, 7 angels, 7 heads of the beast, etc. So October 27th through the 29th represents the completion of that warning sign. And the fact that this 7-year completion of the warning is happening right at the end of the 1335 years in Daniel cannot be a coincidence. For more reasons why both 2019 and 2020 are high watch years, check out the video linked in the upper right corner. We're in a very, very high watch in 2019 and now entering a very significant watch within a watch from the new moon of September 28th to the new moon of November 26th continuously. For more information on the recent fulfillments of Bible prophecy, see the playlist linked here. Thank you to those who have helped make this work possible. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please consider providing support using the link below or at indigoflower.net. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you next week.